Hey everybody, welcome back to No Jumper News. It's Adam22 here with your man AD. Let's get right into these stories. So, Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, has pled guilty to failure to register as a sex offender in California, and meanwhile, his alleged rape victim has spoken out to The Real. Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, was convicted of first-degree attempted rape in 1995 and served nearly 4 years in a New York State prison. He was 16 years old at the time of the crime. According to court documents, the couple married in 2018 and relocated to California in July 2019. As required by law, Kenneth Petty was supposed to register as a sex offender due to being convicted of first-degree attempted rape. Police later arrested him in Beverly Hills after learning he had failed to submit his sex offender status following a traffic stop in November 2019. He was eventually released after posting $20,000 bail, but was arrested again last year in 2020 after being indicted in connection with the incident. Authorities re-released him from federal custody, this time on a $100,000 bond. Initially, Kenneth Petty had pled not guilty to a single-count indictment, but later changed his plea. He's scheduled to be sentenced in January 2022. Now, the woman he was convicted of assaulting has filed a new lawsuit against the couple, alleging that they recently tried to force her to recant her account of the incident. On Wednesday morning, in her first televised interview on The Real, both Jennifer and her lawyer Tyrone Blackburn discussed the assault that she suffered from Kenneth Petty in 1994 and the couple's alleged recent harassment campaign against her. I felt like the actions that were taken in regards to this whole situation have put me in a different type of fear at my age now. It was wrong, and I don't want to be afraid anymore, so the only way to not be afraid is to continue to speak up. When the news first hit of Nicki's marriage to Kenneth Petty, Jennifer explained her first thought was, "I was so afraid of being found out, and I was so afraid of being known as the person he violated. I didn't want that. It's Nicki Minaj." She told the host how she's faced multiple threats and intimidation from Nicki's camp and claimed that Kenneth Petty and Nicki began contacting her and her family members following the arrest in California. After detailing further the assault and its effects on her life, Jennifer alleged that she spoke directly to Nicki Minaj in March 2020. She called me and said that she got word that I was willing to help them out with the situation. I didn't understand to what she was referring to. She continued to say how she refused Nicki's offer to fly her and her family to Los Angeles, saying, "I told her, woman to woman, this really happened." Jennifer alleges that Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty continued to instigate a series of harassment and intimidation against her after she refused to cooperate and claimed that the couple sent people to negotiate with her and her family members. She said one person from Nicki's camp even offered her $20,000 in cash. "The last message I received was that I should have taken the money because they're going to use that money to put on my head." In the past, Nicki Minaj has defended her husband, writing in an Instagram post that Kenneth Petty and the victim were in a relationship, a claim that Jennifer denies in her interview. Nicki also told her fans on the Queen radio show that her husband was wrongfully accused of rape. When asked what she hopes to achieve through the lawsuit, Jennifer has said that she wants to let them know that they were wrong. "He did something to me a long time ago, and he had consequences that he was supposed to stick with. What they did to me and my family wasn't right. You can't intimidate people to make things go better for you, and that's what they did." So, I'm gonna be honest, we've seen Nicki Minaj go through a lot over the years in terms of public controversies. This really kind of seems like the one, like the most epic thing that she's been involved with that seems like it could really actually negatively impact her career. I feel like I've never seen this many people going after Nicki. I'm not sure if the barbs are being swayed, but it definitely feels like there's a big ass tidal wave of public opinion that's turning against her because these allegations are so rough.
Yeah, on one hand, I respect her for sticking by her man's side and shit like that. But on the other hand, man, she's being put in too many controversies after another. And, like all these things are sensitive subjects. On top of that, I know probably her being a woman, I don't know how that shit weighs out. And I also didn't know that this incident happened when her husband was 16. What's the nigga, like 40 now or something?
Yeah, it was 1994, so it's 30 years almost.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like he probably made him he made a mistake, and he was 16 years old. Like, that was a long fucking time ago. And my thing is then now that it's popping up now, like, why is it being the light shed on it just as much now? I don't get it.
Well, it's because of the fact that it's been kind of like a domino effect where he didn't register as a sex offender, so then all of a sudden that becomes a thing. That's when they start putting pressure on the woman to recant her statement, because that's probably like the only path that they have towards this being dismissed in court or something like that. I feel like, Nicki's fan base is so loyal and she is so important to the culture that a big chunk of her fan base was going to sort of turn a blind eye to her dating someone who maybe had some stuff in his past that he wasn't hyped on, or that maybe she felt like had been misrepresented. But to then intimidate and threaten the victim is a whole nother thing. And when you see the video, like, I feel like if you're just reading or you're just listening to me read out the quotes of the things that this woman was saying, I mean, that's one thing. When you watch the video, this woman is broken in a way that it's hard to even comprehend. Like, just seeing how much pain she's in right now, having to deal with this and having it be, involving such high profile people. I mean, I feel terrible for her. And I'm not sure how this is going to play out legally, like how successful her lawsuit might be, or how much evidence she has that these kind of approaches were made to her in all these different public settings. But, I definitely hope the best for her. And it's interesting to see who's sticking by Nicki at this time. Maybe in hip hop, this isn't the biggest news, but it feels like on Twitter, there's a lot of people really involved in this. YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back real soon.